right, there's the audience. Alright, what's up, you guys? Real quick, I just want to thank my great audience for being here tonight, seeing me do this thing. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking to you all about why marijuana should be legal recreationally, federally, in the whole U.S. So, I'm going to cover three main points, just keep it simple. First reason, to grow our economy, that's probably our main topic here. But also, we got medical benefits that will be available to everyone, and similar substances that are already legal. So I'm going to start with the grow our economy part to start. Looking at Colorado specifically, there are 9 states that have actually already legalized it recreationally. Those states are Colorado, Washington, Alaska, California, Oregon, Nevada, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, and Washington, D.C. Looking at Colorado specifically, according to coloradonorm.org, when purchasing retail marijuana, the purchase is subject to 2.9% sales tax plus any local sales tax and an additional 15% state marijuana sales tax. There's 15% excise tax on it. So if I go in and I buy $50 worth recreational weed in a dispensary, it's going to be $60 because there's $10 that goes directly to the state, which is big. That's good for the state. That money can be used, obviously, like any taxes, infrastructure, education, anything the state wants to use it for. In the book, Marijuana Legalization, What Everyone Needs to Know by Jonathan Calkins, he says that legalization would replace illicit market production and distribution with an above-board industry. There could still be rules and regulations, but the bulk of the trade would be conducted by farmers, merchants, and retail clerks, not by criminals. So right now, obviously, in the states that it's not recreational legal, there's criminals doing this, and they're getting all the money. They're not getting taxed on it. We should turn this around, have it be legal, have the state or the government, if it's federal, all the way legal, they should be getting the money, not these criminals. Also, a side note on that is taxes that y'all pay at the end of the year or whatever, they pay for prison, for prisoners to stay in prison. So someone that's selling weed on the streets gets busted for having an ounce in their car or whatever, they go to prison, and the average cost to keep that prisoner in there for a year is anywhere from $31,000 on average up to $60,000. So we're spending that much money on a prisoner to stay in prison for a year, and it could be someone that's just selling some weed, and he's just got busted for a few years, and we're paying for that. Another thing, according to Forbes magazine, fully legalizing cannabis today would add 654,000 jobs and up to 1 million jobs by 2025. So obviously this is just an untapped market that hasn't even been brought in. It would bring an unbelievable amount of jobs into a world that we live in where jobs are already starting to get taken over by computers. We need more jobs. This is a great thing that would really help us out economically. Moving on to the medical benefits that would be available to everybody. To start, I'll explain a little bit about what's in the chemicals in weed that are so great or so unique. 2 chemicals, the main ones are THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, and then CBD, which is cannabidiol. The THC is the one that makes you actually feel high. It's the psychoactive stuff that goes in your brain that makes you feel, high, I guess. And then the CBD is more of the body sensation, body feeling that you get. But yeah, these 2 drugs together can really help with all sorts of diseases. Some just to list off are depression, anxiety, seizures, arthritis, and can even help get people to get through cancer. So definitely big things, and even if your state does have it medically legal, it still can be hard, even if you have cancer, to still get a medical license to get weed. So if it was recreational, these cancer patients could be able to get this stuff and really help out curing cancer. Not necessarily curing, but helping the process to get through it. On BusinessInsider.com, it states that marijuana alleviates pain, reduces inflammation, and promotes sleep, which may help relieve pain and discomfort for people with arthritis. Research is announced in 2011. So obviously, good painkiller. Would probably get a bunch of people off painkillers, the actual pills that really mess people up nowadays, and weed wouldn't be as harmful with them. And lastly, similar substances that are already legal. 2 main ones that pop in your head are tobacco and alcohol. There's not been any real studies, since weed is so new, on the like which one's worse for you, tobacco or weed. I mean, there are some, and they kind of go both ways, but there needs to be more research on that. But definitely, in comparison to alcohol, it's a no-brainer on which one's worse. Based on this quote right here, according to drugabuse.com, the CDC reports that nearly 88,000 alcohol-related deaths occur each year. In comparison, the number of deaths caused by marijuana is almost zero. So you got people dying of alcohol poisoning or alcohol driving, getting killed in that, and weed, it's almost zero. So why is there a substance that's already legal that everyone's cool with and it's socially acceptable, alcohol, but then weed, it's lesser of the two evils and it's not legal? So those are my 3 points that I have for today. Thank y'all for listening, and that is it.